If you've read a lot of manhwas or webtoons before, you notice that stories are mostly the same in all of them. There's two different types. One where they are in a high school, the MC gets bullied. The bully is doing his best to beat up his mom, untie his laces, breathe more air so the MC can't get more. Then the MC is like, I can't take this anymore, starts training or some random power up, and he ends up becoming the strongest, then gets all the status, power, females, etc. Then there's the other type where it's in a different world, and the MC is weak, and then he becomes unbelievably broken, then gets all the status, power, females, etc. And after reading these during times like the pandemic or when I am bored, I'll say straight up that these stories just make you weak. If you're right now unsure and calling me a liar, let me explain to you why. Starting from the beginning. Chapter 1, the Japanese media landscape and escapism. It's worth noting that this isn't just a trend isolated to manhwas or webtoons. The Japanese media landscape, from which many of these stories draw inspiration, has a long history of escapism. For decades, fervent fans of anime, manga, and similar genres have used these mediums as an escape from societal pressures. And while this provides a temporary respite, it's also a slippery slope. A reader might find comfort in these worlds, but their over-reliance on them is what leads to a lack of initiative in their personal lives. The desire to achieve, to form genuine relationships, and to face real-world challenges diminishes, replaced by just seeing the MC do that instead. But what I am mainly trying to say is that, saying manhwas or webtoons in general are designed to make you weak isn't some conspiracy theory, but something that is just objective. As most of these medias devised by Japanese people are made for three reasons: societal pressures, Japan's work culture, known for its long hours and high expectations, often leaves individuals seeking outlets to escape and decompress. This has led to the creation and consumption of media that offer a break from the grind. Historical context: post-war Japan experienced rapid economic and technological growth. This era, while prosperous, also brought about a sense of isolation amidst urbanization, driving many towards forms of escapism. The desire for power, a central theme in these stories, is the protagonist gaining control over their environment and people. Given the strict hierarchical structures present in many East Asian societies, these tales resonate with readers who yearn for a sense of power and control in their own lives. Chapter 2, Self-insertion and its consequences. The unique allure of these stories lies in their ability to let readers self-insert. Readers often see themselves in the shoes of these protagonists. While there's nothing inherently wrong with such fantasy, it does present a paradox. As readers spend more time immersed in these worlds, living vicariously through characters who move from weakness to strength, they may inadvertently neglect their own personal development. When the main character achieves something significant, it triggers a dopamine rush in the reader, a chemical associated with pleasure and reward. This feeling is addictive. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with seeking pleasure, the problem arises when one conflates this chemical reward with actual personal achievement. Over time, the lines blur, and the sense of accomplishment derived from these stories replaces the drive to achieve in the real world. Consuming these narratives, one begins to live vicariously through the protagonists. Every triumph, every new relationship, every accolade the character achieves feels like our own. The danger? It creates a comfort zone. Why strive in reality when you can effortlessly experience success through another's journey? Chapter 3, Time. Perhaps the most significant casualty in all this is time. Every hour spent engrossed in these tales is an hour not spent on self-improvement, building genuine relationships, or pursuing real-world passions. And while leisure and relaxation are essential, there's a thin line between moderate consumption and excessive indulgence. While people in the comments might say, well, I like to wind down, etc., etc., I don't really care, I'm just saying how it is. By the way, comments, your thoughts on this as well. I want to know if I am the only one who thinks this way. Chapter 4, The illusion of progress. Central to this discussion is the concept of illusory progress. When one reads these stories, it feels like progression, a journey undertaken, obstacles overcome, and personal growth achieved. Yet, all this is vicarious. In reality, the reader remains stationary, with their own personal and emotional development on hold. What's more insidious is that these manhwas or webtoons offer quick fixes. Within a few chapters, a character might evolve from being an underdog to a champion. This immediate gratification isn't reflective of real life, where growth and progress require effort, patience, and persistence. Chapter 5, Cognitive dissonance and reality. Cognitive dissonance arises when one's beliefs or attitudes don't align with their actions or reality. A reader might acknowledge the importance of personal development, setting goals, and working towards them. However, the more they indulge in these escapist stories, the greater the dissonance. They begin to feel contentment in the accomplishments of fictional characters, forgetting their own ambitions and aspirations. Chapter 6: The Modern Digital Age and its Amplification Effect. With the rise of the digital age, the consumption of Manhwas, Webtoons, and similar content has become even more accessible and rampant. Platforms like Webtoon, Manhwas, and many others provide unlimited content at the fingertips, intensifying the escapism. The digital age, characterized by instant gratification, aligns perfectly with the quick progress arc seen in these stories. The end result? An even more pronounced detachment from reality, with readers trapped in a cycle of consuming one story after another, seeking the next dopamine hit. Chapter 7: Breaking the Chains. While it might seem like a grim picture, hope is far from lost. Awareness is the first step towards change. Recognizing the detrimental effects of excessive consumption and understanding the difference between fictional progress and real-life growth is crucial. At the end of the day, Manhwas and Webtoons are, in my opinion, designed to keep you weak. Although some can benefit positively from them, those are people who have awareness and mindfulness to understand that. When the majority don't. So yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know your thoughts down below.